CEO characteristics to cultural values. The main reason I wanted to do this is because of the recent changes with T-Mobile's new CEO last year, and also obviously Dr. Taylor joining Evangel. I thought this would be something that might be good for Brittany and I. Here's the citation if you would like to read this further at a later time. So from a contextual summary perspective, the focus really was what in fact is the linkage between CEO characteristics and traits and their values, and there were several different tests that were completed in 2009 to do some research. This was amongst 32 CEOs, 467 employees participated, and it was done across 32 different organizations in 10 different industries. The major findings was that there is in fact a correlation between CEO personality and their values related to culture and the values in the culture. And that in fact their characteristics are felt throughout the organization. So implications for leadership effectiveness is that the organizations need to in fact consider the fit between the culture that they want or that desired culture and the CEO characteristics. And sometimes to generate the change, if it's not where they want it to be, it takes significant behavioral personal changes at the top to achieve this. And then in fact, upper echelon leaders are the primary influence of the culture, and they sometimes do this by using their personality, but also by setting goals that get people on board because it's believable. So my critical analysis, my key learnings, here are some things I really brought from the study and wanted to share with Brittany and hope that she would get something out of it as well. So there are several different models used. I'm really going to focus on CVM, or the competing values model. It's really a focus on organizational culture and fit, and it basically says that there are two different competing tensions, or different tensions along two dimensions that are essentially add up to four different values. And it is really broken down by demands for flexibility versus stability and control, and then focus on internal maintenance versus external competitive positioning. So with that being said, it then kind of says that those are derived and make up four organizational cultures, which are clan, adocracy, hierarchy, and market. So here you can see a little bit more detail about what kind of how those cultures are developed. The clan is really focused on employee development, engagement. There's more of that commitment to the employees. Adocracy is really that the breaking the rules, the innovation, and constant change is how we're going to be successful. We're doing things differently. While hierarchy is really that control and efficiency is what's going to get us our success, and market is really the focus on meeting customer and shareholder demands. Now, once we kind of do that, it's really trying to understand how the organizational cultures then mesh with the behaviors or the traits of the CEOs or our leaders. So here are the big 5 personality traits discussed in the journal article. First, agreeableness, which really is that trait of a CEO or a leader and focus on cohesion. That conscientiousness, which is really focused on organization and details, really goal-driven or has great control over impulse. And extroversion, meaning they are team-focused, they encourage affiliation, and and reward and recognize group efforts. They're about the team. And then emotional stability is really around not having the mood swings, less anxiety, people knowing what they're going to get. And then openness to experiences, that unconventional view, so really being innovative and creative to gain success. So now that we've kind of talked about the culture and the traits, let's see how the traits actually impact the overall culture. So a clan, after doing the research, really a CEO is kind of that servant leader. They are focused on agreeableness, they have emotional stability, they are very extroverted, they are focused on the employee, and they are influential in their leadership. Adocracy is really kind of that aggressive and innovative approach where they're really open to experience. They want to get that unconventional, original, very much want to try new things, to be aggressive and innovate. But from an employee perspective, they really don't have a lot of the focus on the employee. Hierarchy is really kind of focused on that emotional stability. A leader or a CEO that has this trait really is focused on policies, procedures, structure, and results. And so again, similar to adocracy, it's really not focused on the employee. They aren't inspirational leaders. They are very much a structured individual, and that's how we get results. Where from a market culture perspective, the CEO traits that really go into it are really extroversion. They are excited, and they talk a lot about where the company wants to go, how they're going to get there, very competitive and aggressive, and in turn, in fact, reward employees if they help achieve those goals. Kind of closing thoughts was that the study revealed that there are, in fact, relationships between leader characteristics and cultural values. However, it didn't talk about how do you start this process? Where do you start? How do you build this culture first to then identify where you're at and where you want to go? And absolutely, leaders are going to have to do more research in order to understand this process before they can essentially utilize the things that were discussed in this study. So thank you very much for your